Going on, my friends? I am Rick, and this is your seat at the table. And there's been some interest, surprisingly a bit more interest than when I did these. Originally, did some videos on these things, what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and so I thought I'd give you a brief overview of the contents, like the core book. Now, look, this core book is fairly thick. It's in excess of 300 pages. Yeah, 300 312 or something like that. So it breaks down into chapters. We got exploration and colonization, exploring the solar systems, mapping, establishing your house, how your exchanges work, galactic commerce, guilds, creating house characters and non-player characters, training technicians, agents, and other flubes, technicians, tech specialists, personalities, genomes, which are races, right? Known genomes, bios, and I have over 20 races, if you want, that populate the game, and the mechanics are there to create even more. And in a very brief synopsis, humanity has created the lion's share of the genomes in the game. So through advanced eugenics and organics and mucking with we've created species, enhanced species of variations of the humans. And we've also used DNA from plants and animals to get attributes and abilities that we would not normally get in our evolution. And it's had some unforeseen effects. So, and then of course, we've also encountered alien races that have become part of the Imperium and part of settled space. The thing with the basic alien concepts, it's very specific in the rules that there are no alien species that's superior to humanity when it comes to technology. The humanity is the big bad, if you will. They're also so they've encountered alien species who were not quite on the verge of space exploration or were very primitive by human standards and have been brought along by humanity. But none of them have surpassed the human's ability to maintain and control technology. And they also humanity tends to breed like rabbits, literally. So they just dominate the inner or the settled space and the Imperium. So let's see. We have the non-player character interaction chapter, population satisfaction. So when we go back to NPC interaction chapter, because this game initially is designed to be played by yourself, it's a solo game. If you don't like charts, you're not going to like this game. But there's a whole set of scenarios, mechanics, and ready-made charts that allow you to determine what non-player characters are going to do, what they want, what they're willing to do, and you can even conduct combat with them doing things that you're not manipulating directly yourself. So there's elements of chance and elements of a bit of chaos involved. So it's a matter of how much effort and depth you want to play and put into a scenario. At some point, I will do a video where we walk through a number of different types of how this stuff works. Population satisfaction, the Home Defense Forces chapter, infantry bios, infantry support squads, small craft combat unit bios, especially in support units, especially company-sized units, especially battalion-sized units, militia, militia, which is the typical regular army. So regimental-sized units, how to use unit control sheets, designing your defense units and prepping for combat, chapter combat, and then there's personal scale combat, shadow operations chapter, i.e. spies and how to operate them, opposing forces chapter, I call it Op 4. So we have smuggler rings, gutter gangs, pirates, terrorist movements, cult and crusader forces, syndicates, gypsies, mercenaries, equipping an opposing force. There's the bugs, think of Starship Troopers, and you've got bugs. research and development, R&D, designing fauna and flora, primitive civilizations, marginal colonies, fringe colonies, i.e. havens, fringe ports, trade worlds, creating a non-player character world, creating a non-player character exchanges, and then a sample trade world to work from. So that's the stuff that's in the core book. And then we come to the blueprint guide, and a blueprint guide is everything you need to know about creating ships and factories and components. So building the hulls, crew and cargo and passengers, movement and jump, protecting your ship, weapons, specialty decks, small craft, pods, satellites, probes, platinum and guild build blueprints, construction, infrastructure, residential builds, government builds, planetary power grids, agricultural and water builds, mining builds, commercial industrial builds, communications, commercial builds in general, education and science builds, healthcare builds, government and defense builds, defense factory builds, orbital builds, entertainment builds, your first colony, exchanges again. So that brings us to this book here, which is the equipment guide. And you have personal scale weapons, small craft scale weapons, personal scale combat systems, personal scale gear, spy gear and security tech, computer software and technology, robotics, wetware, i.e. cybernetic implants and organic implants, health and regeneration implants, stealth implants, civilian and military small craft combat systems, small craft stealth tech, combat support battle, small craft, war knights. If you think of a mech, that's what you're talking about here. And so we got war knight operation rules, light war knights, medium war knights, heavy and assault war knights. You got helos and anti-grav flitters, fixed wing atmospheric small craft, aerospace fighters, specialized combat small craft, defense prefab shuttles, FTL shuttles, FTL strike shuttles, starship pods, satellites, atmospheric additional rules for small craft, general prefabricated structures, agri-systems, industrial systems, mining systems, like here's a mining knight, mining pod, mining crawler, mining prefab, construction systems, power systems, public safety systems, communication systems, education systems, defense industry, space systems, Star Marshal Service, modifying commercial knights. So you can, in theory, you can take a cargo knight, quote, cargo mech, and arm it. Not that I would recommend it, but you could if you needed to. Star Marshal events. Kai's Incredible Flying Starport, which is an event. History of the Imperium. So, right, there you go. That's, in a nutshell, what we're looking at.